The following is a Thorpe TV production brought to you in cooperation with Jack Thorfinson. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for the SOCS Show, brought to you live from Mr. Holster's ranch way up north near the Canadian border. Let's have a big round of applause. Here he comes direct from the bar, Mr. Holster! That butts. That means you can get past the bar. They'd have to bring him in on a two-wheeler. Guy's such... Oh, Mr. Holster. Hey, that's me. Howdy, Barge. Yeah, it's me, Mr. Holster, and Jack. Well, you look good tonight, Jack, except for... What happened to your hair? Oh, that's right. You told me that story. Jack got shaved this weekend. It seems that he went up to Ebomi's place to play cards with Ebomi and Joey Cuz. And the two of them convinced he should show solidarity to me by shaving his hair because of my chemo treatments. And I hated to break the news to him that Opdivo doesn't cause hair loss. and I think they knew that, Jack, yeah. I'd talked to Ebomi. I'm pretty sure he knew that. You realize that, don't you? Yeah. Well, that's up to you. You'll have to figure out a way to get even. I don't know. But, Jack, I'm going to need a little room here for the firearm I'm going to talk about. And I got to get to the bottle and do my spiel with my my machine gun Kelly. But why don't you sit in your director's chair over there, Jack? Here. I'll pull it up over here for you. Here, Jack. Come on. Sit in your director's chair. There we go. Let's get this show started off. Well, we're not going to start off right. We're already screwed up with you. Yeah, they took you for a ride, man. Yeah, that footage you saw was from me when I went to pick up Jack at the fort there, because that's a long story. We won't get into that. Let's get this show on the road. I'm anxious to get it started. Let's pop the top on this one. We've got Sweet Child of the Vine India Pale Ale tonight. Extraordinary Guys Brewing Extraordinary Beer. Apparently they don't have any women working at this place. Fulton Brewing Company. That's out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Well, that's a place you want to be out of. Yeah, it hasn't gotten any better in the last 10 years. Let's pop the top on this one, as Machine Gun Kelly would say. Jack, you want to smell the cap, Jack? Jack? What do you think? Yeah, you'd prefer Jack Daniels. I know you would. Well, I don't know if you can smell the cap at all. You can look at it. Yeah, right. So much for that. Let's pour it in the old ranch glass. Oh, my gosh. West Texas dust. Spit it out. To the sunny slopes of long ago. That doesn't heat you up and cool you down all at the same time. Jack, your monologue's in reverse, It's all mixed up. It's all confused. We'll have to edit this part out. Yeah, this is all mixed up, Jack. How did you do this? That was supposed to be last. This is first. Okay, we got it straightened out, Jack. Yeah. That's only like a minute of their life they just totally lost there. I'm going to have another... yeah, we really have to talk to the doctor, Jack. I'm pretty sure I could have like one shot of rye whiskey once a week, couldn't I? Just one? Well, I hope I can stay awake during the show. I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I just can't seem to sleep on a strange lawn anymore. Remember the immortal words of Jack, you're not drunk if you can lie on the floor without holding on. When I was born, the doctor told my mother I did everything I could, but he pulled through anyway. I never had any luck with girls when I was younger. One time I dated a belly dancer, and she told me I turned her stomach. The local police chief kind of paid me a little honor this week. He put up a new traffic sign. It says, crawl and don't crawl. Yeah, in my honor. So I went down to the doctor's. He took an exam of my stomach, and you could see my liver throwing an olive at the camera. Yeah, see, they're out of sequence, Jack. I told him my back had been bothering me, so the doctor told me to start sleeping on a firmer lawn. Tonight we're going to ask the immortal question, where do people in hell tell people to go? Only I have the answer. To work at YouTube. It's Jack's world, and I'm just lucky to be living in it. Right, Jack? That's what you say every time I say anything to you. It's my world, and you're lucky to be living in it. Now shut up. I think you say it at least 4 times a day to me, Jack. This is what we're looking at tonight. Well, I got a couple things to look at. One is this prop gun I got out. And this was used in a movie called The Man from Lazarus. At the very end of the movie, Robert Urich picks this gun up and uses it to save the day. It's a movie prop gun made by Pieta, and it's kind of a really bad 1851 clone because it's got a brass frame on it. But it shoots it doesn't shoot anything. It shoots blanks. 380 auto blanks, and it's got a 44 caliber barrel on it, and the cylinder ends up kind of halfway on the barrel, doesn't line up right, so you couldn't possibly shoot anything out of it except for those 380 blanks. Thought I'd show that to you tonight just because I have it, and so I thought I'd show it to you. It's my one connection with Robert Urich. But this is the other thing I was going to show you and I want to talk to you about, because I got it out today because everything is green outside all of a sudden. So it's time, to get out the green Camo Shockwave. And I want to talk about this briefly. If you saw my video the other day, they brought out the Shockwave. Of course, they brought it out in a 20 gauge. It's available. This is a 12 gauge. It's available in a 20 gauge. And it's also available now in a 410. All the same price. These in the 12 gauge nowadays, I've seen them on sale every now and then for $350. So you could probably pick up a 410 for that same price. I'd say about 6 months from now. I'm sure they'll be trying to get as much as they can for them when they first come out. They'll be kind of scarce, and they'll be wanting $400 plus for them, I'm sure, in the stores. But what a fantastically handy gun, and I'd love to have a 410. And a 410 really is gonna get the job done too. I'm just gonna stop and say that right now. You run a slug through a 410, you basically got a 41 Magnum. And I've always felt a 41 Magnum would get the job done, yeah. Pretty much. So just because it's a little 410, don't think it isn't worth considering. It ought to be just a sweet gun to shoot. Very simple to shoot with it. Because they're fairly heavy, because they got these heavy barrels on them. And you're not going to have that much kick on a 410 out of this thing. You might consider that if you're thinking about picking up a Shockwave, you might consider the 410. I don't think you're going to be undergunned with that one bit. So I thought I'd share that with you today. Of course, this one has one of those Marble Arms Tritium night sights on the front that I put on, which is, it really works well. It illuminates green at night, and it's got a nice white outline, so it shows off as white in the daytime. These are just handy little firearms to have, because technically they're not shotguns, they're firearms, pistol grip firearms. And when I first got it, I really thought it was kind of more of a novelty. I just wanted it. But you know, you shoot it a little bit, it just takes you a while to get used to getting it out in front of you and sighting it in. You just got to hold it as if it had a shoulder stock. So only the shoulder stock area, you know, obviously not like this, but as if there were a shoulder stock on it, out forward. And that's pretty much all there is to it, and it works quite well. Just thought I'd say that. And this one, of course, is the summertime version in the green, multicolored green. Actually, I think it's green and FDE is what we used. OD green, FDE, and black camo. So, there you go, guys. I thought I'd share the Shockwave because this is the season for this one. The camouflage white one. It didn't get used that much because I really used the one with the sling and the flashlight on it more in the wintertime than I. Of course, I'm not going outside as much in the wintertime. Yeah, because when it's 30 below, you really don't want to go outside. But a fantastic gun. I think of all the firearms I've gotten over my lifetime, I think I've used this. Other than one I was carrying for business purposes. I guess I should qualify that because you carry it every day. But just general usage, I've used this more than any firearm I've ever purchased. Because I've got one of these out every day. Either the whichever camo I'm going to use, or at nighttime I'm using that. Matter of fact, we had a little incident the other night. And I had that firearm on me with that flashlight, and I used the flashlight. Yeah. It seems somebody decided, well, we won't go into it. But at any rate, the flashlight alone pretty much took care of the issue. Yeah, maybe on my Patreon account I'll tell that story, but I doubt I should do it here, since this is the second. This is the second SOCS show. The first one got rejected. So we started over again. So there you go, guys. There's the SOCS show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. I guess I could update you. Before I leave you, I want to update you. Let me finish the rest of this. Yeah, I know. Yeah, beer. You know, I think once I get through my treatment, which is only 11 and a half months away. Actually, technically it's not even, well, anyway, doesn't matter. Once I get through my treatment, I think when I get through my treatment, I'm going to do a SOCS show and actually get out a very, very, very nice bottle of rye, if I can afford one at that point. Which, yeah. Any rate, which is an interesting story right there. I'm going to tell you this story. So we're at the hospital, and the first infusion, they make you go through all this stuff. That you have to talk to a nurse, you have to talk to a physician, you have to talk to everybody on the planet. And talking to the physician that mixes up the concoction they put in you, and my wife says, how much does this cost? And she says, oh, thousands and thousands of dollars. And my wife said, no, each treatment, how much does each treatment cost? And the gal said, yeah, thousands and thousands of dollars. So, but yeah, it's all right, because by the time we got all the scans done and the surgery and everything, we'd already maxed out. I'm pretty sure maxed out the deductible, which was enough to bankrupt me anyway. So there we go. At this point, it doesn't matter until, of course, the end of the year, and then you got to start over again. But like I told my wife, well, let's just take one step at a time. I'm still alive. That step is a real bonus to me. Now the good news is that my results came back from that last scan on the spot on my spine, and I was right. It was because it was an injury to my back. So it's not cancer. So I say, yeah, fill me up with your stuff and kick me out of there. I'm going to beat this thing and it's going to be done. The last time you put that stuff in, that's the last time I'm going to come down and see you. Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. There's a SOCS show in only like 18 minutes of your life. You'll never, ever, ever get back again listening to Mr. Holster and showing you a couple guns that I'm sure if you watch my channel, you've seen them repeatedly. But that's the way life is at the moment. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that anymore at this point. There you go, guys. From Mr. Holster and Jack. And Jack, you know, I think maybe I should probably give you a little trim there. They just did a butcher job on you, man. Oh, they did. Oh, my God. Oh, was Joey doing it after he did all those shots? He was. Jack. All the things you've been through, all the wars, all the deployments, I'm really surprised you fell for that. I know, yeah, Bomey's a real sweet talker, but then again, Jack, he's a Bomey. You should have known better. There you go, guys. For Mr. Holster and Jack, till next time, go out and stay safe. How much of their life do you think they just flushed down the toilet? Listen to that. I mean, honestly, Jack, it's just